Thanks for tuning in to the Privacy Guy. Today I wanted to talk about a few companies that I think are some of the best role models and best advocates for privacy on the internet, both online and offline actually. And those companies are DuckDuckGo, Mozilla, and Apple. And so Apple's in that list. I know that Apple does have some issues, but I think overall they're contributing to the conversation of privacy, so that's why I've included them. So first off, DuckDuckGo. Why is DuckDuckGo, one of the privacy role models? Why is DuckDuckGo such a big advocate for privacy? And I think the reason they've embraced privacy so much is that they've seen that one of the biggest criticisms of Google and DuckDuckGo's other competitors is the amount of tracking and data collection that those companies do. And early on in DuckDuckGo's existence, it wasn't a private search engine. It was just another search engine, an alternative to the main search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. But then early they realized, hey, there's some risk in having all of this customer data stored on our servers or wherever, and we don't want to take on that risk, and we don't want to put that risk on our users that all this information could possibly be leaked. So we're just not going to track it at all. That's what DuckDuckGo decided. And ever since then, I think it was in 2010 when they made the switch over to not track their users. A decade's gone by, and they've grown to one of the more well-known private search engines out there, and they've surpassed 50 million searches a day. I mean, they're growing really fast, and I think there's a lot of exciting things to come from DuckDuckGo. So if you're looking for a private search engine, I definitely recommend DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo's founder, Gabriel Weinberg, has been a really great advocate, a great spokesperson for those of us that are interested in privacy, or those of us who are even curious about privacy products, because he's been so outspoken. He's been in the media, he's been interviewed on big news channels, just getting the word out there, spreading awareness about privacy, and helping to grow his product, DuckDuckGo, but also just awareness and support for privacy and other privacy related products online. And then next up, Mozilla. If you haven't heard of Mozilla, you may have heard of their biggest product, Firefox. Firefox is a browser. It works just like Google Chrome or any other browser you may use, Microsoft Edge. And Mozilla had a bigger share of the browser market prior to the introduction of Google Chrome. And after Chrome was introduced, Firefox's market share went down. So they had to find a new way to stay interesting and to provide value that Google Chrome couldn't. And within the last couple of years, Mozilla has really shifted towards making Firefox very focused on protecting your privacy and blocking trackers and other privacy threats that you may experience when using a browser. So I think this is great. Mozilla is a very well-respected, well-known internet company. And some of the features that they've added to Firefox to make it more privacy friendly are things like built-in tracker blockers. It's had a private browsing mode, but that private browsing mode does a little more than Google Chrome. So it's not just, deleting your history, it's also blocking tracking scripts and other ways that websites could invade your privacy and collect your information. They've also added things like secure file transfer services and a number of other privacy features that I think are really important and have kind of been left out of the mainstream browser space. So you have your kind of deep privacy focused browsers like Tor and maybe some other like obscure browsers that really don't have many users. And the people that do use them are, going to be more like paranoid or just super technically savvy users. But Mozilla makes privacy accessible to everyone. And I think that's a trait you'll see across these three companies, DuckDuckGo, Mozilla, and Apple, is that while they may not be the top of the list as far as like the most private, what they're doing is they're bringing privacy to the most people. And I think that's incredibly important, just getting people aware of the benefits of protecting their privacy and kind of the reasons why they're doing this. That just helps the internet as a whole not become this ecosystem of data collection and tracking. So these privacy companies are helping to swing the pendulum back the other way towards more privacy friendly than just Google and Amazon and Facebook collecting all your information, tracking your location, and all that stuff. So then finally, the company that I included in the list, but with an asterisk, is going to be Apple. And I think, although Apple does get criticized for having some privacy issues, and I know they've run into some issues with like cloud-based stuff, iCloud in the past getting hacked or leaked. I think generally Apple is a great advocate for privacy, and their reason for doing so is pretty obvious because their biggest competitor in like the mobile space is Google's Android. So if Google's the number one violator of privacy, like tracking and all that stuff, it pays to benefit, or it's likely going to benefit Apple if they focus on privacy and embrace this throughout their operating systems and their devices, which they've clearly done. Apple uses what they call differential privacy, where they can collect information about how iPhone or like Apple users are interacting with their devices, so that Apple can still use that information to improve its operating systems and other functionality, but it's not compromising any one individual's data. So Apple's still able to deliver the convenience that kind of other less privacy-friendly companies use to convince people that privacy is not important because it will take away your convenience. Well, Apple has done a great job of protecting individual users' privacies while still collecting user like statistics and information about how they can make iOS or OS X better. And then Apple has, and especially Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, has been outspoken about the importance of data privacy and has really stuck to Apple, like promoting Apple's dedication to privacy. And so one of the reasons that I included Apple in this list is because you have one of the largest companies in the world with millions of people using their devices that could easily say, oh, well, we're going to collect whatever information about our users and then sell that to make more money. But Apple and Tim Cook have gone against that and said, hey, we value user privacy. We think it's very important. So we're going to stick to our guns here, and we're not going to just sell out all of our users to make some more money. So I think it's great that privacy and privacy-related tools have a company like Apple out there speaking on the value of protecting your data and not sharing that willingly with every company you come into contact with. I also wanted to note that the new version of iOS, I think it's iOS 14, has some new features in it that are going above and beyond even what older versions of iOS have done for privacy. So the new version of iOS actually alerts users when they're being served personalized ads and allows them to block those or just remove them from particular sites. I'm not entirely sure how the feature works yet, and I'll keep you guys updated as I come across more information there. But those are the three companies that I think are doing the best job of promoting privacy. And I think if you're interested in privacy and you're not using these companies' products, I really recommend you try them out. I think you're likely to find a lot of benefit. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, which if you have, I really appreciate it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, or like this video, and it'll help more people find the video and my channel. And thanks again, and I'll talk to you again soon.